The bacterial flagellum is irreducibly complex, a hallmark of intelligent design. Irreducible complexity offers compelling evidence for intelligent design. One of the most striking examples of this concept is the bacterial flagellum, a microscopic rotary motor used by certain bacteria for movement. The flagellum is composed of multiple interdependent parts that must all be present for it to function. This characteristic makes the flagellum a prime example of irreducible complexity, meaning that it could not have arisen through gradual, step-by-step evolutionary processes. Here, we will explore what irreducible complexity is, examine how the bacterial flagellum fits this definition, and explain why this biological structure challenges the neo-Darwinian model of evolution. Instead, the flagellum points to intelligent design, a deliberate and purposeful creation by a mind with the foresight to design such a complex system. 1. What is irreducible complexity? Irreducible complexity is a concept developed and popularized by biochemist Michael Behe in his book Darwin's Black Box, 1996. Behe defines an irreducibly complex system as one that is composed of multiple interacting parts, where the removal of any single part causes the entire system to cease functioning. In other words, all parts of the system are essential, and the system could not have evolved through a gradual accumulation of small, beneficial changes because no intermediate form would be functional. In a Darwinian evolutionary framework, natural selection is thought to work by preserving small, beneficial mutations over time, allowing organisms to evolve gradually into more complex forms. However, irreducibly complex systems present a significant problem for this model. Since these systems require all their parts to be present and functional from the start, natural selection cannot explain how such systems could evolve through intermediate, non-functional stages. Intelligent design offers a more rational explanation, as it posits that such systems were designed as complete units with specific functions in mind. 2. The bacterial flagellum, a molecular motor. The bacterial flagellum is one of the most well-known examples of irreducible complexity. It is a tiny, rotary motor used by certain bacteria, such as Escherichia coli, E. coli, and Salmonella, for movement. The flagellum propels the bacterium through liquid environments, allowing it to navigate toward food sources or away from harmful conditions. Structure of the bacterial flagellum. The bacterial flagellum is composed of about 40 different proteins that interact in a highly coordinated manner. Some of its key components include rotor, the part that rotates the flagellum, generating movement. Stator, the stationary part that holds the rotor in place and provides the power for rotation. Driveshaft, the component that transmits rotational energy from the motor to the filament. Filament, the whip-like structure that extends from the cell and generates thrust to propel the bacterium forward. Hook, a flexible joint that connects the motor to the filament, allowing the flagellum to change direction. Each of these parts is essential for the flagellum to function. If any one of these components is missing or malfunctioning, the flagellum is rendered completely useless, it cannot rotate, and therefore the bacterium cannot move. A motor with purposeful design. The flagellum's complexity is often compared to that of a human-designed outboard motor, which requires all its parts, such as the propeller, driveshaft, and engine, to work together to achieve movement. Just as an outboard motor needs a designer to assemble and arrange its parts, the bacterial flagellum appears to require a designer who constructed it as a complete system from the outset. 3. Why the bacterial flagellum is irreducibly complex. The bacterial flagellum meets the criteria for irreducible complexity because all parts are essential. The flagellum cannot function if even one of its components is missing. For example, without the rotor, there is no movement. Without the filament, there is no propulsion. No functional intermediate forms. The flagellum does not appear to have any viable intermediate forms that could provide an evolutionary advantage. A partially formed flagellum would not help a bacterium move, and therefore, it would offer no selective advantage in terms of survival. Complex coordination. The interaction of proteins in the flagellum is highly coordinated. The assembly of the flagellum is directed by precise genetic instructions, and its operation is dependent on an intricate network of molecular interactions. This level of specified complexity points to a designed system rather than one that emerged through random mutations. 4. Challenges to Darwinian evolution. The irreducible complexity of the bacterial flagellum presents a significant challenge to the Darwinian theory of evolution, which relies on natural selection and gradual changes. Evolutionary biologists argue that complex structures like the flagellum could have evolved through a process known as co-option, in which pre-existing parts or proteins are repurposed to form new functions. However, this explanation does not account for the specificity and interdependence of the flagellum's components. Co-option and its limitations. Proponents of co-option suggest that the parts of the flagellum could have originally served other functions and were later repurposed to form the flagellum. For example, they argue that some of the proteins in the flagellum are similar to proteins found in other bacterial systems, such as the type 3 secretion system, used by bacteria to inject toxins into host cells. According to this view, natural selection could have co-opted these parts to form the flagellum. However, co-option does not explain how the precise assembly of these proteins into a functioning motor could have occurred. The flagellum requires a highly coordinated arrangement of parts, all of which must be present for the system to work. The transition from one function, such as toxin injection, to another, such as movement, would require numerous simultaneous changes, which is unlikely through random mutations. 5. The argument for intelligent design. The bacterial flagellum is a powerful example of irreducible complexity, and it points to intelligent design as the best explanation for its origin. The flagellum's complexity, specificity, and interdependence suggest that it could not have evolved through gradual, step-by-step processes. Instead, it seems to have been designed as a complete and functional system, with each part serving a purpose within the whole. Intelligent design and purposeful arrangement. The purposeful arrangement of parts in the bacterial flagellum is characteristic of intelligent design. Just as a mechanical engineer designs a motor to fulfill a specific function, the bacterial flagellum appears to have been designed to enable bacterial movement. The fact that each part is essential and must be arranged in a precise way for the system to work points to the existence of a designer who had the foresight and intelligence to construct this molecular motor. 6. Theological implications. God as the creator. From a Christian perspective, the irreducible complexity of the bacterial flagellum reflects the wisdom and power of God, the ultimate designer of life. The Bible teaches that God created all things with purpose and intention. Colossians chapter 1 verse 16 says, "For by him all things were created, things in heaven and on earth, visible and invisible. All things have been created through him and for him." The bacterial flagellum is an example of God's handiwork, a biological system that operates with precision and complexity that human engineers can only begin to understand. It serves as a reminder that life is not the result of random processes but the product of divine craftsmanship. Conclusion. The bacterial flagellum points to intelligent design. In conclusion, the bacterial flagellum is a prime example of irreducible complexity, a system that cannot function without all of its parts present and working together. The flagellum's complexity, precision, and interdependence challenge the Darwinian model of gradual evolution, as there is no viable intermediate form that could provide a selective advantage. Instead, the bacterial flagellum points to intelligent design, suggesting that this molecular motor was created with purpose and foresight by a designer. As we continue to uncover the wonders of biological systems, we find increasing evidence that life is not the product of chance but the result of a mastermind who designed the intricacies of life with intention. The bacterial flagellum, in all its complexity, stands as a testament to the intelligent cause behind the natural world, a cause that, as Christians, we understand to be God. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and comment below if you agree or would like to add your thoughts. If you would like me to respond to your comment, please make a level 1 comment directly below the video. I will respond to all polite level 1 comments even if it takes me a while, due to other commitments.